This is one tip for each SLUGCAT. Monk has a naturally high reputation with all creatures, and is generally stealthier, meaning that the best tip for Monk is to avoid hurting creatures as best as you can, to not lower your naturally high rep. Though that's not as exciting as the true tip. Because you are already so naturally friendly towards lizards, you can easily tame them. If you don't know how to tame a lizard, all you need to do is feed it as shown on screen. If you have lizard voices enabled, they'll make a unique sound to indicate that they've been fed by you. Survivor really doesn't have anything unique going for him, but I can take this opportunity to show something that all SLUGCATs can do: the backflip. To perform a backflip, all you need to do is, after a bit of running in a direction, switch to the opposite direction while pressing jump. There's a lot of movement shenanigans that you can do with backflips, but the main thing we want out of them for this tip is the ability to throw in new directions. That's right, while in the backflip state, you can input the direction that you want to throw the spear towards. Normally, you can throw left or right, but while backflipping, you can throw downwards and pin the spear to the floor, which allows you to get some extra height. You can enter 5 pebbles this way, using 2 spears. As of the Rainbow Remix update, you can also now throw spears upwards. This is especially useful to deal with drop wigs, getting an extra hit against vultures, dealing with lizards above you, and so much more. Though, be aware that the spear that is sent upwards will do reduced damage. Hunter has the ability to carry around 2 spears. It's perhaps one of the better offensive quirks a SLUGCAT can have. The tip here applies to all SLUGCATs, but it's especially useful for Hunter. The concept of spear stunning. When you hit a creature with a spear, aside from a very few exceptions, they will be briefly stunned. That is your window of opportunity to grab the spear from their bodies and stab them again. While you can do this with only 1 spear, the timing is a bit tighter, which might allow the creature you're fighting to retaliate, due to the cooldown that exists when trying to grab a spear that was recently used. But if you have 2 spears, you can easily chain them together for a safe kill. Gourmand has an incredible amount of depth, from his powerful slide to his ability to crush anything by falling on them, but by far the most slept on strength of his is his roll. You can initiate a roll from either a backflip or falling down from a certain height threshold. All you need to do is hold both down and the direction that you want to roll towards. All SLUGCATs can roll, but Gourmand's roll can do damage on contact, deflect spears, and can be used for a much longer time before naturally coming to a stop, which makes crossing through rooms like these a breeze. Artificer also has some unique moves that often go unnoticed. Their explosive jump puts them in a backflip state, allowing them to do things like these. But the real tip is about the parry stun move they have. All you need to do is press down plus the explosive jump input. This causes a shockwave around them that parries and stuns all creatures in a massive radius. It can be done in the air, and it can stun basically any creature, which is wild to think about. Spearmaster can wield 2 spears, 1 in each hand. Now you're wondering, duh, of course I know that. That's one of his main strengths. And you'd be right. But this is kind of a PSA. Although Spearmaster can in fact wield 2 spears, that doesn't mean he has to wield 2 spears. A complaint I often hear about him is that fighting lizards is tough because you can't flip them over easily without using a rock. But you can always decide not to use 2 spears at any given moment. His real strength comes from being able to arm himself at any point. Now, here's the tip if you do want to fight lizards with no rocks. You can press down and throw to arc the spear downwards towards the mouth of the lizard. This does extra damage, but may be somewhat risky. What I prefer to do is to slide and spear. To slide, all you need to do is to be walking in a direction and then press down and jump at the same time, while still holding said direction you are going in. After executing the slide, all you need to do is to press the throw button as you are crossing through the lizard. Beware of the distance between you and the target. This technique also works against red lizards, though if you fail, you know what happens. Rivulet is literally just fast survivor. I don't have any specific tips for them, aside from a quality of life change I would advise you guys to make. Turning screen shake off in the remix settings. Yes, I'm serious. The rain is very cool, and ominous when it's approaching, and while the screen shake is a neat and scary effect, it is also super disorienting to know where you are while everything is violently shaking. During any other campaign, it doesn't really matter, but with Rivulet's short cycles, it means you're often going to be still moving about when the rain hits, and it'll cause you less of a headache if you don't have to deal with so much screen shake every cycle. You can thank me later. Saint has the unique mechanic of temperature due to the harsh cold that can be seen in his campaign. The most common way to keep yourself warm is with a lantern, but there are other sources of heat that you may need to use if you're in a pinch. The lanterns that are found in the background, reindeer, lantern mice, and even the karma gates can provide that little bit of heat that you may need to survive just a little bit longer to reach that shelter. Let me know in the comments if you're a master and you already knew all of these tips, and leave a tip of yours down below. That'll be it.